Great, that was excellent, John. I just wanted to ask a clarifying question, which is the reason why we need to know how to change the mouse to a larger black pointer or whatever other symbol or whatever is because, in fact, the default setting is a smaller white pointer.
Correct. Right. So a white pointer on a white background, especially on a web page, is very, very confusing, and it's all the more important on the web page because the majority of the time, unless you're typing in text in an edit box, usually a person's hand is on the mouse. So that's a really good point. The pointer is especially important on the web pages. Yeah.
And the default setting is not really the ideal for someone with low vision or other visual impairment.
Correct.
So,
yeah.
Super.
Okay,
so what's
great.
next then?
All right. I'm going to talk a little bit about the accessibility within the operating system. It's called the Magnifier. With Windows XP, it's different from Windows Vista. XP has a thin little bar across, and I'll show it to you now. It's not something that I recommend for people. It's like a last resort, but it's sort of like another tool in your toolkit, and if you have nothing else, it certainly is an option. So what I'm doing is I'm going to All Programs, and then I'm going to Accessories, and then under Accessories I'm going to Accessibility, and then under Accessibility I'm going to go to Magnifier. Okay, so what this does is it magnifies a small strip across the screen, and so your field of view is very, very limited. As you can see, it does magnify, but it's very, very limited because it's sort of like looking for a needle in a haystack, actually.
So you're scrolling across the screen in this area, and where your mouse is displayed in this, say, 2-inch strip at the very top.
Right, exactly. So it's, like I said, it's limited, but if a person has nothing else, it certainly is another option for them. And then the level of magnification, let's blow this up a little bit more. So typically, the higher the level of magnification, the smaller the field of view a person's going to have. So let's blow this up here to, I believe it's 8 power now. Now it's even pixelated because it's so large. And this drop-down menu, the number 8, that's the only thing we can fit on the screen. So not only is it, and the field of view smaller because of the magnification, it's also extremely small because of the narrow bar, the narrow strip that I'm only able to see it with.
So at an 8 by, if you will, then that's really the maximum size you can fit on that, say, 2-inch vertical space.
Right.
For some characters, I guess.
Right, and I will say I'm often surprised at how well some people have actually used this, considering they have no other resources available to them. But in saying that, it has tremendous limitations. So if there's any other options available, I would recommend pursuing them. But this is really a last resort, is that magnifier. Now, as John pointed out, the 8X there, that was the largest, and it's blown up to such a degree that it's like sort of like looking for a needle in a haystack. Typically, the individuals I work with, and they're mostly working age adults, when a person is past the need for 4 to 6 times magnification, it's really a good idea to start exploring speech options at that point.